Hi, I'm Mary Ann Clyde.
And I'm Lorna McGill.
And we're here with the Isn't She Amazing podcast with another amazing guest today. We've got Avery Clyde. She is an actor and she is an advocate for clean beauty. Avery, what does that mean?
That's a
Because we
great
all need to
question.
know at this age what to do with this skin.
I mean, goodness, I do. I get asked that question a lot. Clean beauty, all that means is, hi, by the way, I am Avery Clyde. I'm excited to be here with you all. Clean beauty just means that any toxins that are in the product that are harmful to humans or the environment are not in there. They're taken out. So there are about 80,000 ingredients in the consumer market, and I would say maybe 5% have been tested for human health and toxicity. It's because mostly the regular consumer thinks that the FDA covers personal care products like sunscreen and, cleansers and facial whatever, but they don't. There's just nobody looking,
Yeah.
Really?
So there's just nobody looking. There just is nobody. I
had no idea. Did you, Maria?
I know. Oh, honey.
Well,
like
I
my
know because I
company,
use Beauty Counter.
yeah, Beauty Counter, my company goes to, they lobby in DC and just knock on the doors and they're like, hey, did you know about this? And there are representatives, Lorna, that go, what? No joke, seriously, like
Really?
representatives of different states around the country that are like, tell me more about that.
Because you're sinking it, it's all sinking into your skin.
Yeah, exactly.
It's your body.
Your skin is your largest organ on your body, right? And yet there's just no regulation on that. So in the United States, well, let's just be dramatic, shall we? Let's be dramatic.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes, just because it's more fun. In the EU, they ban about 600 ingredients for public health and the environment. In Canada, about 1,400. In Canada, about 600. And in the United States, we ban 30.
Oh, there you go. So we've got our goals set for us.
30. So the rest of the world is a little more caught on, but Beauty Counters just steps in there, and EWG, who I'll tell you a little bit about too, where that without looking is not there, right? So I got into this because I had some severe fertility issues, so much so we made a movie about it or inspired by it.
Let's just tell them where they can see that just for kicks, because it's
sure.
really a compelling movie.
I think you can even just watch it on YouTube now.
Okay.
To be honest, but if not, you can go to the If I Could Tell You movie.com platform, and it's it's all over the place. You can pretty much get it anywhere.
It's a very compelling movie.
Very compelling movie about infertility, and through that period of time, I'm sure lots of people can relate to this. In a period of time where you feel like you're doing everything right and you can't change it, you can't move the needle. That was fertility for me, right? I was like, what? There's just nothing wrong with me, and yet something is not happening. So I just started to do some research to figure out what it is that I was literally doing to myself, and changed my first three things, right? Are how is older skin older, right? And how do we get the most out of our skin and our bodies, right? So I was trying to do that because I was going through fertility and realized, oh my gosh, so much stuff that I was sticking on my body actually had like hormone blockers in it and stuff that was messing up my, just everything, just not good. And then I was doing that to myself. And sometimes women can put on between 12 and 18 products in a day. That's pretty standard. 12 to 18 products in a day. So if every single one of those products has a little bit of this, a little bit of that, it's not just one product we're talking about. We're talking about the compound interest really on your body, right? Wow. So you just want to start out as clean as you can and last as long as you can, because you want to get the most out of this body that you can, right? Here we are 50. So what's the condition of our skin at 50? Well, I'm going to try, there's so much information. So I'm going to try to keep it pretty simple. So I'm going to mention just these two things. One, when you have a baby and it scratches itself or whatever, right? You go, oh my gosh, it's so red. right? And then the next day, it's gone,
Hmm.
right? It's like gone the next day. You're like, wow. It's because a baby's skin rejuvenates in about 45 hours. And our skin is 45 days.
I did not know
Wow.
that. That's so sad.
45 days, right? So as soon as you know that factor, it's very clear, like, oh, okay, it has a lot to do with cell turnover and hydration, right? You're trying to get new product on that face, right? So I'm going to talk about how do we hold that hydration and stuff in, and then how to make it a little better when it sits on there. I'm going to start with these 4 steps of skincare.
Okay.
Cleanse, prep, treat, protect. Cleanse, prep, treat, protect. It does not matter if you are using Beautycanner or any other brand. These are the 4 steps. Okay, so no matter what you have in your cabinet, you can still use these 4 things. Cleanse. Now, I'm showing you this one because I'm a Beautycanner person, but it's an oil-based product. This is what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
So you want to go to EWG, Environmental Working Group. EWG, you can get a little app on your phone. It'll scan your product and it'll tell you if it's good or bad for you.
You notice
It'll
how
be
Lorna and I
1
are
to
taking
10.
notes.
We're
You
taking
notice
lots
we're
of notes.
taking notes.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
I'm kidding. I text Marianne. I was like, you might want a paper and a pencil.
I got it.
So you,
I'm like
each
writing on a
unit will go-
scratch piece of paper here. This is not good. I need a
you might need a
notebook.
pad. You might need a pad of paper. It'll show you 1 to 10. It'll just show you like green to red. And just know when you go into the list on EWG that if something is in the red and that's like your favorite thing, go look and see why it's in the red, right? So you'll just dig a little deeper in its page on EWG Healthy Living app. I will put a link in it so that Marianne can have that under her little description here.
Mhm.
I'm like, I've got to go like start looking at it right now.
It helps. It makes it so easy. And then if you just start using, I'd say if you use that thing even 3 days in a row, right? Or a couple days in a row, you're going to start to see what the pattern is with chemicals, right? It's like, oh, fragrance. It's almost every time fragrance, right? Because fragrance is a trade secret that they are allowed to hide anything inside that they want and not tell anyone.
Really?
So yeah. So separately, those ingredients might be inside a fragrance and you are fine. But then once they put them together inside a fragrance, now this person is like really allergic, right?
Really?
So, but because it's inside a trade secret, you just don't know. On the back of the bottle, they can put as many ingredients as they want and leave off whatever they want. I know, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I mean, sometimes it's because the bottle's not long enough for the list. So they'll just
there
put
you
the
go.
top, the top
20?
whatever, and the rest of it's not on there. But if your thing you're allergic to or whatever is on the bottom of the list, you're just not going to see it. Right. So that's your little education about shopping. EWG Healthy Living app. I give a little workshop on that where we walk through it. So you dump your makeup out and we just scan through it and figure out what's really going on in that bag. You might have some real good ones in there. All right, I got to get on this. We're not going to get through this, ladies. Okay. Cleanse, prep, treat, protect. Cleanse, prep, treat, protect. I think after 45, you want to try to look for an oil-based cleanser. Oil-based, if you can. Right? Not necessarily, it's not, not the end of the day, but like oil-based cleanser, because you're going to immediately, while you're cleansing your skin, be holding your hydration in versus taking anything away. I think after 45, you want to add as much as you can. And hold it in, right? Keep what you got. So this is an oil-based cleanser. So it's like a hard oil, right? This is a cleansing balm, the Lotus cleansing balm. Lotus just means it's got a little anti-inflammatory in there. So anti-inflammatory, it's a one-pot wonder. So this is really good for men or women or low maintenance people. So good for people that go to college too, or just people that are just like, I don't want to do that skincare. Give me one thing. And you have that friend. You have them. You've seen them.
I think I'm that friend.
Yeah, right.
I'm really good for about 4 days, and then I'm like, this is a lot of work. I'm tired.
Don't worry, you are not alone, girl. You are not alone. So a little bit of this, like an almond-sized portion of this, and then I just rub it in between my hands like this to warm up the product. Up strokes on your neck, your face, and the back of your hands. right? All your age spots, upstrokes. I know it seems like a little thing, the upstrokes thing. Just think, if you're pushing down on your face for 40 years
or more,
upstrokes, 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 right? Like, yeah. Okay. So oil-based cleanser. There's also a cleansing oil that we have.
I use that.
Yeah, I just
counter
love
match.
this. Oh, so why is it a one-pot wonder? So you can use it as a cleanser. You can use it as an eye makeup remover. Hell, you could use it as a diaper rash cream or put it on your mosquito bites. You can also use it as a mask. So I'll wash my face and then I'll slap a little bit more on and I'll sleep in it. And then you wake up the next morning, it's got a little anti-inflammatory in it too. Super, super hydrating. So you feel depuffed and like super hydrated. And then you just rinse it off and you're good to go. And that you could even just walk out the door like that, to be honest. I mean, you'd be super hydrated, right? If you were a no makeup kind of gal. So that's cleanse, right? First step, older skin, I recommend some kind of oil-based cleanser. Just make sure it's clean so you're not irritating your skin. One pot wonder for low maintenance folks, right? How can you get it done and work with who you are, accept who you are? Some people aren't lots of step people. Okay, the next step would be cleanse, prep. Prep is going to be, I remember like from the 80s when we used to use those astringent toners and you'd stick it on a cotton ball and I'd just like wipe my face with it and I'd be like, done.
Right.
Mom, I totally cleaned my face.
You can buy those little pads also.
Yes. And you just do whatever. And it was just like, sometimes it might burn a little, but man, it felt clean. It was like, I just like gasoline.
I love Stridex.
Do you remember Stridex?
Yes. Oh my God. Right. So
are you going to tell us that it was
toners
terrible?
have changed a little bit since then.
Okay.
Now I'm sure those still exist. No, don't get me wrong. But now I would say you'd break them into two different kinds of that prep step. The prep step should be hydrating your skin. It should be the second step after cleansing is really the most important part. So for older skin, I'm cleansing my skin, right? But the second step after cleansing, I don't necessarily want to take away. If you're a person that has like, oh, it's not up there. If you're a person that has like blemish prone skin or oily skin, then I'd be recommending, we have a counter control toner that is like a double cleanse. It's a Korean skincare method kind of thing where you cleanse twice, right? You cleanse your skin and then you cleanse your skin again. So somebody with oily skin, I'd be saying use a toner that is a double cleanse, a second cleanse for your skin. Pretty much anybody else, and particularly people that have older skin, I'm going to say, no, you want to look for some kind of that second step that is an add, right? An add of hydration, extra bump. Right? You're getting more specific now with this second step of what kind of skin do you have. So an essence or we have the other one is a hydrogel toner, which is like a white bottle. I do not have too many things here. But it's also an add. So where the other toner would take away and make you more clean, this one is going to add just more hydration. And the key to this one, or the trick with this one that I really love, is this kind of step. If it is an add, which is an essence, so you'll know it's an add, you can do many, many layers. So, and it makes a difference. So I will just put a whole puddle of it right there in my hands, rub them together, and then you're pressing it into your face. And I do this at night, like if I have a shoot or something the next day, and I'm like, ooh, I had a lot of coffee today. The night before, I might do like 5 layers of this stuff. And you just keep going till it feels tacky. And you'll just see your skin rehydrate itself. I mean, you're like a sponge, really.
Really?
Right? And then the next morning I'll wake up and I will do it again. 5 or 6, they call it the Korean 7 skins method. And it's just this point in the product, right? The prep step, that's an essence, that's adding hydration, that you just layers and layers and layers of that. But man, do I notice a difference the next day.
What is that
I notice
one called?
a difference the next day, and I'll go and shoot and they'll be like, wow, your skin looks amazing. I'm like, well, I did all the things.
Yeah.
I did all the things today.
This is hydrated skin.
Very hydrated skin.
So
all
what's
right?
that product called?
So this is the.
You're just selling some to Marianne right now.
I mean, this is. You're only seeing one pink bottle because this is like so my favorite.
And I've got the whole collection of the pink bottles.
Yeah,
counter
this
match
is,
stuff.
well, I gotta have it by my face because of the blurrier. I need to turn that off, I guess, now that I have this background. This is a Counter Time Hydrating Essence. We also have a Counter Match Hydra Gel toner too, but so just a little different consistency. This is gonna be have like a milky consistency.
Mhm,
You put it in your hand, you rub it together, just like a little milk, right?
mhm.
And then Hydra Gel toner is gonna be more gel-like. So it's like, what's your vibe? Your vibe.
Mhm.
I like this because it has a little retin natural complex in it too. Retinol and vitamin C have kind of been king and queen in skincare for many, many years. But retinol, when you actually start digging on EWG, retinol is actually not so awesome. It's associated with some not so great stuff. But we all kind of just ignore that because it has such good skincare properties. We're not going to look over there. Because Beauty Counter is a B Corp, they just invented an ingredient called Retin Natural, similar results as retinol, but without the downside
Okay.
or harmful effects. There you go. But what is that third step? Third step is treat, cleanse, prep, treat, protect. Because I'd say that's the second question I get asked the most is, what order do you do this stuff in? What is
Mhm.
the order, right? So cleanse, prep your skin, get ready for skincare, rehydrate your skin, and then treat is the third step. You guys, I'm going to turn off the blur because I don't need it and you can't see the names on the things. Two seconds. Background. Always adjust. Where's the blur part?
Well, I've already learned a lot just that there's no oversight on
Yeah.
this huge
So
industry.
Background and effects. There it is. None. Yay. Now you can
Oh,
see
there you
the
go.
thing.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So 4 steps of skincare: cleanse, prep, treat, protect. Didn't need glasses, but look, see, it's so automatic, even though I put my contacts in. A treat is the third step. So the only step where you're really actively working on your skin is that third step, right?
Okay.
Proactive. You're working on your skin, not just taking care. It's not just having a great day, right? This is the part where something's actively happening to your skin. Vitamin C, I'd say that's our number one selling product, and I imagine for a lot of other companies too, but this is ours because it is a strong vitamin C. Vitamin C gets unstable as it gets more potent. So there are 2 different kinds of vitamin C in here so that we can get it up to 10%, which is super high vitamin C potency. So what is vitamin C doing? Vitamin C is doing that thing that happens to the baby's skin, right? Cell turnover. That's all that. That's the main thing vitamin C is doing: cell turnover, right? And skin brightening. Really brightens up your skin. That's why this is just so great. Over 45, really, really, really great, right? You just want to speed that process up. That process that went from 45 hours or a day, basically, to 45 days. How do you expedite that process? How do you unearth new skin? Any kind of vitamin C, potent vitamin C, will do it. I would even say lots of people, maybe even just men. A lot of men buy this product too. I know it's because they go, what's that one thing that everybody could use to help with their overall look? And vitamin C is one of those things. The other thing is the same kind of version, another serum, which is a peel. Anytime you use a peel is like that serum step. It's a treat step, right? Because you're actively making a difference to your skin. So this peel, so this is the All Bright C serum, and this one over here is the Overnight Resurfacing Peel. Has a little bit of brightening in it too. But the difference with this is when I would go to the dermatologist and I would get a peel on my face, they would open up like a little wet one thing like this, pull the little wet one out, which was really this product, right? The peel product, wipe it all over my face, leave the room, come back 15 minutes later, and they're like, okay, wear a hat and sunscreen. That'll be $75. This is years ago. It's probably way more than that now. This is years ago. And then for the next 3 days, you have to wear a hat and sunscreen and not touch your face, because if you scratch your skin, you're just like, oh, I can't scratch my skin, right? Like that's what I did for a few years there in the beginning. Then I found Beauty Canner and an overnight resurfacing peel. I mean, you probably could wear it every night. And the first time that you use it, I would say maybe 3 times that first week, and then work yourself up to 5 and then 7, just so your skin gets used to it. But after that, yeah, you could use this every day. And it's just doing the same thing. It's cell turnover, right? This is peeling off that layer of skin and brightening it up. And you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, it's amazing. This is like my mom's favorite. So those are treatment steps, right? You could have other things in that treatment step, right? You might use a serum. This pink glass, right? Its most active step is that treat step, because that treat step has the retin natural in it, and it is served up so that it is treating your skin. This has a little bit in it, but that treat step has a lot. Good for fine lines and wrinkles and plumping up your skin, right? And then protect. This is a biggie. Number 4 for particularly our age, but I'd say at any age, because 95% of aging comes from the sun. I'm going to say that again. 95% of aging comes from the sun. Next week, you'll forget and you won't wear that sunscreen, but I'm saying that now. 95% of aging comes from the sun. So sunscreen, my friend, sunscreen. So I have one, this is a 30 that you can use, or 25 that you can use during the day underneath makeup. Because it's just light and it feels like a lotion that you'd use with makeup, because I know that's an issue for a lot of people. If you're not wearing makeup, then I have a stick or I have a spray or whatever. But what's the deal with sunscreens? Let's teach you a little bit about sunscreens. There are a couple different kinds. There's the kind that absorbs into your skin, and then there's the kind that bounces the sun off your skin. That's the kind I recommend. Why do you need this product, any product, to absorb into your skin? You just no, don't need that. So zinc oxide, which is what these both are, there's zinc oxide or titanium oxide are great, right? Non-nano zinc oxide is what is inside of this. Non-nano, that term, you'll see it on a bottle. Non-nano just means it's not going underneath the surface of the skin. Non-nano, not underneath the surface of the skin. And zinc oxide. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, I'd say mostly people just don't apply their sunscreen enough. I know that sounds like a silly thing to say, but it really is true. It's like 80, 90 minutes pretty much. But if you have SPF 25, it will let through 5% of the sun. If you have SPF 30, it will let through 3% of the sun. And then if you have SPF 50, it'll let in 2% of the sun. So that's what's happening with those numbers.
Okay.
Right. Because it gets confusing. So sunscreen. I will even put sunscreen and then put a couple of drops of facial oil in my sunscreen if I want to go to the beach and look fabulous, or go out and not really put any makeup on. A facial oil is another key in the older aging scenario. I use it for everything. I mean, you can put it in your foundation, just 2 or 3 drops. You could put 2 or 3 drops in your sunscreen, right? You could put 2 or 3 drops in just any kind of regular day cream or whatever. It adds a little dewy goodness and then a little bit of sunscreen or skincare help, right? A little juju. This particular one is brightening. And again, when we get over, well, let's just have this conversation now. The over 30, ceramides, you might have heard that word thrown around in different skincare things. What is that? Okay, if this is your skin, right? And you've got all these little skin cells, the ceramides are what's in between all those little skin cells. Okay, that's what ceramides are. And then at 30, they just start to disappear. They just start to go away. So you're our age, and there's a little bit in there or whatever. But the ceramides are what are holding in your moisture and helping hold out the sun. already in your skin, right? So that's why it gets harder as we get older even, right? There's even that one element that's in your skin that's gone. So if you see ceramides on a product, it's not sunscreen, right? I want to make sure that's clear, not sunscreen. But ceramides in a product are just replacing what was there, right? So this product is one of my new favorites. Again, 2 hydration things are my favorites, right? Over 45, over 45. This has ceramides in it, so it can act like an instant filler. Not going to be permanent, but it is instantaneous because it's full of ceramides and they go and just do what they usually do, right? So I just stick, I mean, I've got some lines there, but I'm just going to rub it in and it just fills it all in. It's amazing. Has like an instant little puffer thing going on, maybe around my lips, right? I'm going to be all shiny now for motion.
There you go.
This part on my neck, right? So hydration, it's like finding what your thing is. This one is called Beauty Counter Water Cream. And I'm using it now I've replaced my day cream with it and my night cream with it, actually. Because I'm getting my treatment stuff in my treat steps, right? So I can do that. I can swap stuff out. As long as that treat step, I'm working on whatever it is I need to work on, right? So this is a Beauty Counter water cream with ceramides. You can use it in the morning or you can use it in the evening. And I just really like it with skin that's over 45. I'm like converting most of my clients over to this, at least as one of their moisturizers in the day, just because of it just does the thing that everyone over 45 wants it to do. Which is fill in those little cracks and crevices, right?
No, I'll have a quick question. So is it better to hydrate it in the morning or at night, or does it not matter?
Your skin? I would say sunscreen's your number one. So I'd say morning if you're going to pick the two. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to just do one hydration, I would say have it be in the morning and have some kind of SPF in it. That's what's going to help your skin last the longest for sure. You can do it both, but yeah, morning. Yeah. Any other questions? I can keep going, but where we are on time, ladies.
This is amazing because we've taken, this is a podcast that Lorna and I are probably going to sit and watch over and over and over to make sure we get it right. But I also know you teach certain number of classes, which you could teach for an individual over Zoom or in person, doesn't matter. Yeah. And I know you're located in Pasadena, South Pasadena, California. So for a lot of our East Coast people, they would need to contact you and do something from Zoom. But tell me, I know you have classes for men. I know you have a couple other classes, but the main one we're naturally interested in, of course, is you call it the self-care curious class. And it really helps women in general, and I know it includes eating a good diet. I know it includes water.
Yeah, that's a simple short class, but it goes well with this, folks, because it's how do you create a space inside of your vessel that looks healthy and vibrant and alive as long as you're on the planet, right? And one of it is this external, right? External health and glow and integrity. And when I say integrity, I don't mean like integrity. I mean integrity like, oh, there's a stool with 3 legs, and if you take one leg away, it doesn't have any integrity, right?
Right.
You want it to function. So that's what I mean by integrity. This is what we're talking about today with all this beauty counter stuff. It's like integrity with our skin, right? Integrity with what we're putting in the planet, all these things, like it functions, right? Same thing with the inside, right? I just found that there's about, from talking to hundreds of women for the last 10 years, there's like 5 basic things that keep coming up that help create and focus that inner beauty with your external awesomeness.
Awesome.
It just makes you feel more empowered, right? You feel good when you feel good on the inside and the outside.
Right. And the fact that you are an actor, so you're on camera all the time. You do a lot of theater, you do a lot of on-camera work. So this is vital to you for your profession, for not just your personal life, but your profession. And so this is one of the reasons I think it's so important to you too, is because it hits every area of your life, as
It
it
does.
would be for each of us who particularly have an in front of people sort of persona. And it's
Absolutely.
important to look good, and it goes with feeling good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have a whole other business that's just coaching executives
Mhm.
before they get on camera, because it's everybody has to do it.
Mhm.
It's like everybody has to be in front of a camera now for one reason or another. At some certain age, you do,
Mhm.
and there's just a few things that can help people so much. Even the thing that we were talking about when I first got here, right?
Mhm.
You guys, before we got on, we reset my thing, and then like I went like this,
Right.
you know, and I was like, look at all the different backgrounds you have here. But simple things like that, where you just go, oh yeah, do a Zoom call if you don't have lighting, like you guys have beautiful lighting, but like in front of a window.
Right.
This
Right.
this is gorgeous lighting. Not I have a light over here now, but like this from my window is like the perfect lighting. Nature does it for you.
Right.
Little things like that, you know.
But
But
I mean, I know just
excited to share
personally,
it.
like
I
when my
enjoy it.
skin is dry, like you can just see it. Like you just are like, I just don't
Yeah.
look good.
Yeah,
It's
and we talk about that too, just what's involved with hydration. I'm a big person about sleep. I have a whole class on sleep. I just think if LeBron James sleeps in a hyperbolic chamber and he is the best basketball player on the planet ever,
Does he
I'm
really?
thinking there might be a reason. There might be a reason he does that to make him
Mhm.
superstar, right? And it's like, how can you harness that power of sleep? Like, do you wake up and go to bed at the exact same time every day? Try it for 1 week. You'll die. You'll be like, oh my God, what have I been doing?
Well, this is probably a topic for a whole other podcast, but women our age have a terrible time sleeping. I mean, I can hear that's always something like I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sleeping that much, which
Yeah.
that totally affects how our skin looks also.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of the reasons I did a dive on that at one point, because I was talking about skin. And I'm like, gosh, some of it has to do with sleep. And then I ended up doing a 15-part series on sleep because I was like, I
Wow.
got so into it.
That might be another
Power.
podcast.
The
That's
power
right.
of sleep that you can harness and give yourself more just by figuring sleep out.
That's
More
amazing.
oomph, right?
Didn't
Yeah.
didn't I tell you she's amazing?
Yeah, she's pretty amazing.
And she's got an amazing array of information
Yeah.
for particularly women over 50. I mean, she helps everybody, but our
I do. I love
people
women
that
over.
watch are women
Well,
over
and I think
50.
it's always such a big topic. And there's so many options out there. Like, what do I even start with? Like, it's overwhelming. You
Exactly.
walk into those places and you're like, I don't even know what I'm to ask. I know my
Yeah.
skin doesn't look the way it did, but what do I
Well,
need?
you
And
can
then it's
start
also,
by
and it's an investment. So you're like, if
yeah,
I'm going to spend
yeah,
that
it
much
is.
money, like I wanted to work. And a lot of
Yeah,
times it doesn't.
exactly. Exactly, Lorna. If you're going to spend that much money, you want it to work. Seems silly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Avery. So
Yeah.
we're going to ask you for one big thing, because you gave a lot of information, really good basic stuff. But if when our audience walks away and they have to remember one thing, what's that one thing you
Look at
want
that
them to
face.
remember?
I would say the one thing about self-care is to do a little bit for yourself every day. It's amazing how many women I talk to that can get to the end of the day and have not spent 5 minutes on themselves. Not 5 minutes, you know? And so breath, you know, take away, just get in touch with your breath and give yourself that, even 30 seconds in the car.
Mhm.
That little acknowledgement to ourselves of I exist and I am worth like looking at and saying, what do I need today? That little 5 minutes. And sometimes it's just a little skincare, you know, sometimes
Mhm.
it's a little sunscreen. Sometimes it's just 5 minutes in the car and nobody's allowed in the car but you know, little
Right.
self-care, just a little bit each day. Even
Really?
60 seconds where you commit to yourself, man, you'd be amazed.
Yeah. And it adds up and it makes a
It
difference in
does.
your
It
life.
adds up, Marianne. It does. It really does.
All right. Yes. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to get the specific website you want people to go to, and I'll put it on the screen when we go live.
Okay.
So if you could just send me that would be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, not a problem.
And
Awesome information.
yeah,
Oh, so nice to meet
I got a
you,
notepad.
Lorna.
So this.
There you go. That's right.
then-
There you
and
go.
the
You
neat-
got it, girl.
and the neat thing is, she got up at 7 o'clock to be on this
I-
recording. We appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
6 o'clock.
Oh, right. She got up at 6 to be here for 7. And she was early.
Do I still sparkle?
You still
do.
sparkle. And it only gets better from here, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Well,
Thank
you
nice
so
to meet
much.
you guys.
Avery.
Thank you for having me, and
Thanks, Avery.
best of luck.
We're glad you're here.